I feel like God, I'm a Kage. Whoa, busting my ass, I know all if they. Whoa, me, I've been working, I grind from the ground, and now you see my drip is so Kage. Let's go, let's go. Young Shinobi from the unknown. Said I gotta show that I'm with it, I got gusto. Not tell false, I kill them, we all cut throats. Had to put the work in, show them what the work is. Came up from the bottom, now I'm up though. Ayy, stuck up at the trenches, now I'm on my lit shit. Give me serious one punch.
Hey, so we are back for another video. Now for today's video, like a lot of my other recent videos, I've had pretty much nothing to play. If you look at my continue page, I basically only come on here to record videos, and that is pretty much it. In all of these videos, I'm playing some sort of new anime game. Now I can't even imagine doing this anymore. I used to upload every single day, and literally every single decent anime game or game in general that's being developed right now isn't coming out for another 1-2 months. Here's Ultimatum. I have no clue when that game's coming back. Watch, that could be next year for all we know. And Emblem Tales. This is the most delayed game on Roblox right now. This game was supposed to come out like a month ago, and it's still not out. And so, because there's literally nothing to play on Roblox, I figured for today's video I'd do something a little bit different. Around 4 months ago, I did a video called The Best Roblox One Piece Game of All Time. And in this video, I basically talked about pretty much every single One Piece game that has dropped on the Roblox platform and where I'd rank them. So I figured for today's video, since there's pretty much nothing to play, why not do the same video but for Naruto games? Now in this video, I'll be talking about games that have been released as well as games that are releasing in the future, because there are 2 really well-made Naruto games that are actually coming really soon. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're new to the channel, right now we're trying to hit 103,000 subscribers, so I'd appreciate it if you hit that sub button, drop a like in the video, straight into it. Now for my first game on this list, and please keep in mind that this is not in any order whatsoever, it's just my first honorable mention. I have a game called Shinobi Arena Next Generation. I have a feeling this is going to be one of the biggest Naruto games of this year. Now, this is a game made by N4K, and imagine ABA, but Naruto, and it looks really good. We've only seen a few sneak peeks of this game on Twitter, but this guy is a really good scripter and he knows what he's doing, so I'm expecting big things from this game. And the way he's doing it too is really interesting. Every single character in Naruto was good at some things and not so great at others. Like in the start of the series, Naruto was not so great with kunai, so in this game how it works is every single character has a different accuracy stat. So basically a character like Sasuke, who was obviously really proficient at throwing kunai shuriken, would have higher accuracy, but a character like Naruto would have a lower accuracy. Honestly, that's a really cool system because this game gives each and every single character on its rosters its own benefits and downsides. Honestly, this guy is a really creative developer just for stuff like that, and I dig it. I honestly like systems like that. Not too big on arena fighters, mostly because they don't usually succeed, but this game looks like it has a lot of potential and I could see it doing really good. Not too much to say about this one, but as soon as it does release, I'll definitely be doing videos on it, so props to N4K. I don't think this game has a Discord, but if it does, it'll be there. And yeah, on to the next one. For my next game, I have a game called Bloodlines, which already is not a Naruto game that's gonna be for everybody. Bloodlines is a hardcore Naruto game that, from what I can see, has a lore behind it. Now, this is a game created by Arkham Deluxe, and I don't really know much about this. Unfortunately, I can't say too much about Bloodlines, but it does look really interesting. The owner really hasn't said too much about this, which is why I don't know much about it, but from what we've seen on Twitter, the game does look like it's going to be really good. From what I can see, this game is going to be like a deep woken version of Naruto, which is a really interesting concept, so I have high hopes for this game. And yeah, that's it for that one. We're going to move straight on. For my next honorable mention, I have a game called Nindo Story. Nindo Story is an open world and closed community Naruto game that I had the opportunity to test a few months ago. I haven't actually seen too much development from this game since I actually tested it, but that's okay because they're going a little slow, which I respect. But after testing this game, everything about it was just made beautifully. When you're traversing terrain or just going from tree to tree, there's actually gravity when you chakra walk. Like, for example, most games that have Naruto chakra walking, it's very simple, but this game, it looked beautiful. Honestly, if this game was actually fully developed and came out, I could not see this one doing bad. I mean, the game just plays very well. The jutsus and the combat were both made phenomenally. I loved the traversing. I loved the movement with the chakra walking. It was just a really nice game overall. Okay, and now we move on to the actual list. So I'm going to be ranking every single Naruto game that I've played from top to bottom. To start off this list, I'm going to bring out the obvious one, the one that when you think of Naruto on Roblox, you probably think of this game. That is Shindo Life, or Shinobi Life 2, which is the one that I prefer. Now, Shinobi Life 2 is easily the most popular Naruto game on Roblox at the moment. I think it averages around 30,000 players, which is insane. Now, prior to this game's copyright, I might have still been playing it because it was very fun and it looked great. But the game did get copyrighted, and now it looks, if I'm being completely honest, a little bit weird, which is why I no longer play it. And for anyone saying it's the same game but just looks different, it's really not. Because imagine if Grand Peace Online, for example, had to change things like the Mare no Mi with I don't know, Escanor Sun abilities or something like that. It just wouldn't feel the same. We play these games to get the vibes from our favorite anime, and that's why we play. So if it's not the same anime, if it's something different, then there's just no point in playing. That's why, unfortunately, I just can't have this at the top of the list. For me, Shindo Life is either in the middle or lower towards the bottom. That's purely because of the copyright. If that hadn't been a thing, honestly, I would have given this game a solid A tier, but after the copyright strike, it just doesn't hit the same. That's just my personal opinion. If you're willing to look past how weird the game looks right now, then I'd say you're probably gonna enjoy it. But as someone who just can't do that, yeah, I'm just not a fan of the game anymore. Next up, I have a game that you guys probably haven't heard about. This is the game that actually introduced me to Naruto, and that game is Naruto Online. Now, if you heard of Infernasu or Retalix, or I think Seiji and Nano also did videos on it, this was a Naruto game that there's so much I could say about this, but I guess I'll start with this. This was the first, or one of the first, real big Naruto games on Roblox. Actually, it wasn't that big because it was a closed community. But this game, man, this game was beautiful. Now, in order to describe this, I'm gonna use this example. So, imagine Naruto, the series, except it's a Roblox game. That's what Naruto was. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to play it myself, but even though I didn't get to play it, I watched so many videos on this game, and it'd just be a mistake for me not to put it in my top 10. I guess I shouldn't even say top 10 since this isn't really in any order. It's just me talking about games and giving them rankings, but yeah. Naruto Online was a closed community Naruto game where the player the player spawned in with a randomized clan, and from that clan, they had to actually progress through the game. Now, it worked just like the actual Naruto series, meaning there were Jinchuriki, Kage, there were the Akatsuki, pretty much everything in Naruto that you can imagine this game had. I mean, Jinchuriki could be sealed, stolen by the Akatsuki, Maru Uchiha was there at the end, and the allied Shinobi forces had to fight. It was just made very well. And if you guys ever played a Naruto copy, this is what inspired that. Naruto copies are completely inspired from NO2. Now, if you have no clue what a Naruto copy is, then you have no clue what I'm talking about. But yeah, this, in my opinion, is the best Naruto game. And I'm just saying that from my perspective because I'm a player who really likes hardcore, difficult games. And Naruto Online, it's just a shame that I didn't get to play it because the game just looks so well made. Now, this is a game created by, I'm pretty sure, Snake World and Raguzer. I don't remember, but I think that those two made it. There might have been more devs, or maybe one of them didn't work on it, but it's not the fact that I just said Snake World and Raguzer. You guys already know the game is good because Keep Poking, that's a game made by Rag, and Final Stand, that's a game made by Snake World. And those are two very well made, very successful games, so it's no surprise that Naruto Online was a really well made game. Now, this game was very, very old. Okay, the game was super old, but even though it was old and even though the effects and everything look old, if you guys went back to, I think, one of Infernasu's playlists and actually watched how the game progressed, because it did have a story. I think it started with, obviously, you know how regular Naruto started with the Jinchurikis getting sealed, or yeah, the Jinchurikis getting their Jins and having to train them. And I'm not gonna go into the full lore of the game, but if you went back to one of Infernasu's or Italix's or any of the old NO2 YouTubers playlists, and you just watch their videos one by one, it's so entertaining. It's like watching a full series on YouTube for free. It's just, when I was a little bit younger, I don't think I started YouTube at this point, or even now, sometimes I'll just go back and watch one of their old NO2 videos because the game was just so entertaining. Yeah, that's pretty much NO2. I don't really have too much to say about that. I also don't want this video to be too long, so we're gonna move on because I think I have one or two more games. So I thought I was done with this video, but me being the idiot I am, I completely forgot about one of the best Naruto games that ever come out. That is Naruto Almighty. I literally cannot believe I forgot to mention this. Naruto Almighty was, honestly, I'm not gonna make this too long. Just imagine NO2, except it's R15, it's recent, and it has new concepts. I really don't want to get into this game too long because I don't want this video to obviously be too long, but yeah, just imagine NO2 if it was more recent in R15. Now, because I want to get this video up before 12 o'clock, I'm gonna kind of rush here, but yeah, Naruto Almighty was another closed community Naruto game, and it just looked beautiful. Like, the game looked so good to the point where it could have gone public and done really well if that's what the owners wanted, but they didn't, so they closed it, or they just had to close community. But yeah, Naruto Almighty was a great game. I'm sorry for keeping this so short. The game just looked beautiful, and yeah, that's where I'm about to leave that. Sorry. For my next game, I have a game that was created a very long time ago. I think around 2016, 2017, 18. This is a Naruto game that most of you guys probably don't remember, but I played this a lot when I was a little bit younger. Now, this was a game called Gaiden, and before any of the old Career Bros game, this was the game that came first, and this was their first, I think, first real Naruto game. This game was honestly really fun. Imagine Shindo Life, except it's really old. It's not nearly as polished. It's just, the game is fundamentally way different. It was Gaiden. Back when Gaiden first released, it was the Naruto game to play, and this was where they began to get their formula for their Naruto games. And honestly, it works. Gaiden was good. It was a good Naruto game, and although it doesn't look as good as some of the games that released now, you guys gotta remember, this was a game that dropped years ago. Yeah, that's good. I'm not gonna say too much about this purely because, like I said, this game did drop a very long time ago, so I can't say too much about that. The next game, I have another game that was very popular, created by the same people that made Shinobi Story. This is a game called Naruto RPG. You guys might start to notice a little bit of a trend that the games on this list are created by the same person. That's because the Kura brothers really did make a lot of the really big Naruto games that are on Roblox, and honestly, I'm thankful for that, because if not for them, we would not have gotten any real decent Naruto games. I really cannot be mad at that. But yeah, this game, I don't want to say made my childhood, but it was another one of those Naruto games that back when I was younger, I used to play a lot often. And if it sounds weird that I'm saying back then I was younger, you guys got to realize I'm 16 now. So back in 2016, I was like 8 or 9 years old. So you guys got to understand, I was pretty young back when these games dropped. And yeah, these games definitely meant a lot to me when I was little, so I really did enjoy all the OA games. They were just really fun overall. The thing about these games is that for their time, they were made very well, and not only that, the games were just so different from literally any Naruto game that dropped at the time. I mean, I remember playing Naruto RPG. I didn't get into it on release, but the game had a lot of different Genkai, a lot of different summonings, a lot of different NPCs to fight. And another thing you have to remember is that these games were created back when the bandit beater formula on Roblox was still alive and thriving. That's just how it is. Now on Roblox, we have no reason to play a bandit beater because they just aren't as fun anymore. But back then, we had all of the reason to. I mean, we weren't bored of them back there. That's why every single bandit beating type game that dropped succeeded, because that's all we wanted. Obviously, now that most of the kids that were playing them back then have grown up a little bit. I mean, even now, games like Shindo Life have 50,000 players, which is insane. But yeah, back to the topic. Beyond was a really fun Naruto game, and it was honestly just one of the first of its time, and for what I believe is the final Naruto game on this list. I might be missing one or two, but for what I remember, like from my personal memory, the game that I feel like had I not played this, I might not even be where I am right now on YouTube, is a game called, I think it was either Shinobi Story or Shinobi Origin. But yeah, this was, in my opinion, the best Kurebro Naruto game before Shinobi Story. I mean, if they didn't, I mean, not Shindo, before Shindo Life, if they didn't mess up Shindo Life with a copyright strike, I would have said that was the best Naruto game. But Shinobi Origin or Shinobi Story was, it was just a really well made Naruto game. I mean, I don't remember everything about it, but I remember there was like a star system that if you wanted to actually rank up, you had to do quests or missions, and you had to go to different dungeons, and if you wanted to rank up, you had to complete these quests and dungeons. Shinobi Story was just a really well-made game overall. It was so unique. There were so many new concepts that we've never seen in a Naruto game. Honestly, I think that they ended up closing the game, but I honestly don't even, I don't know how that game died. I remember it died because of something they did, or maybe they broke the game or something, but yeah, the game ended up dying. It wasn't especially quickly, but it did die relatively fast, and prior to its death, I really think that this was the best Kurebro's Naruto game. I mean, the game was just really fun. There was a whole skill tree with Genkai, like Explosion, Storm, Sharingan, Gates. The game just looked beautiful. Crystal, Lightning. It just had so much stuff. It was Element, Clans, Arts. Oh, the game was just made so well. Like I said earlier, there were different ranks like D, A, S, Z, and although Shinobi, what's it called? Shindo Life has the same exact system, I'd say this game did it a lot better, and it also had like a little story where at the start of the game, you know, you came out and I think you had to like go to the academy or something. I don't remember, but the game was just made very well. There was an actual climbing system too, which is really interesting. Honestly, I could see myself playing this game again. I can't see myself playing Shindo Life again. You know, I'm bored of that, but this game, Shinobi Story, I could see myself playing that because it was an MMORPG and it was just really fun. Another thing with this game is after NO2, which like I said, I didn't even play myself, I was in that game, but Shinobi Story for me was especially important because it was a game that really got me, I don't want to say big on YouTube, but it was a game that got, I think one of my highest viewed videos back when I was first starting out was a Shinobi Story video. I mean, this game especially means a lot to me because it was really the first Naruto game that I had recorded videos on. I mean, Shinobi Story really, like I said earlier, is, in my personal opinion at least, I don't know about you guys, I think that this was the most creative, most aspiring Naruto game that came out of the Kura brothers. And This was their second to last project. This came out, and then afterwards, Shinobi Life 2 came out. Now, honestly, I think this game was a lot better than Shinobi Life 2, but that's just my personal opinion. Like I said, I don't remember why the game died. I think it ended up getting bugged or something broken, and they just gave up on it. If anybody remembers why or how this game died, please let me know down below, because I don't remember at all. Now I'm actually really curious. And yeah, I think that's pretty much every single Naruto game, guys. If I missed one or two, please let me know down below. But yeah, honestly, I didn't expect to have this much nostalgia going into this video, but it was actually surprisingly nostalgic going back to every single Naruto game that I played. I really completely forgot about Shinobi Story. I have no clue how, but that game really was an absolute banger. If you hadn't played it, you're missing out, because it was just so much fun. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next one. Later.